Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. Welcome back to F1 with Mike, and this is your prediction video for the 2025 Drivers Championship predictions. Now, testing finished last week, and even at the moment, we don't know a lot of things, but one thing we know for sure is that McLaren are the best team heading into the season. They are the team everyone is looking to catch up to basically. And then there are some surprises that are not really surprises really. Aston Martin, their car is looking just all over the place, but this is not a video for that. Today's video is about predicting the 2025 Drivers Championship. So I would like you to engage with me in the comment section as well. When you're done watching this video, please write down your predictions in the comment section and help me grow. And also, I have noticed 99% of the people watching my videos are not subscribed. Only 1% of those watching my videos have been subscribed to my channel. So please, if you're watching this, subscribe as much as you're liking it. Like, subscribe, help me grow. Don't forget the goal is to reach 10,000 by the end of the year. So we're almost at 1,000. So help me get there. Yes. So without further ado, let's get into it. In P20, I am going with the two P19, P20. I'm going to make this very fast. In P19 and P20, I'm going to go with the Sauber team because from everything we saw during preseason testing, I don't think that team has made any leap forward. I think they're still struggling with all the issues they had last year. In a way, in a good way, this season for them is just a write-off, to be honest. They're just competing for competing sake because they're just gonna accumulate time to because if you finish 10th in the constructors championship table, you get more testing time in the wind tunnel. So I guess they're just competing. So hopefully maybe they will develop a better car next year. But for P19, P20, I am going with Gabriel Bortoleto in 20th. Even though he was the F2 champion last year, I don't see him going beyond that. Just like we saw last season with what's his name, Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu for the same team. Zhou was lucky to have points in one race, although I think it's harsh to put Hulkenberg in P19, but their car is not good. So if there's anyone that can perform miracles, he'll be the one. But I'm putting him P19, P20, Hulkenberg, and Gabriel Bortoleto. And in P18, I am going with Isaac Hadjar. Just like them, the VCAP didn't show much performance as well during the preseason testing. I haven't seen anything to convince me otherwise. So, and also because he's a rookie, and the rookies, they need time to get into these cars and all of that. So I'm gonna go with Isaac Hadjar in P18. And in P17, I'm gonna go with Jack Doohan. For his sake, I hope this prediction doesn't come true, because if by mistake it does, or if it happens, I think we might not see him finish the season. As you know, Flavio Briatore is now, like, you could say technically he's the leader in Alpine. He can do whatever he wants, and he is the one that encouraged the signing of Franco Colapinto. So if Jack Doohan is not performing midway into the season, I think we might be seeing him dropped during the season. So, but if he goes through the season entirely, I am saying Jack Doohan is gonna be P17 in the constructors table. If you see my eyes moving towards the side, because it's a long list and I have it on my screen here, so I'm just gonna go with that as we go. And in P16, I am going with Oliver Bearman. Oliver Bearman driving in Haas. First full season in F1, he had some very good performances last year when he came in to drive for Ferrari, and also when he stepped into Alpine to replace K-Mag when K-Mag was ill, and when K-Mag had the suspension. So all things being equal, Oliver Bearman with P16, not P15. In P15, I'm going with Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll P15 because, honestly, if you watch my constructors championship video, I did predict Aston Martin to be the fifth best team. But after what we saw during preseason testing, I don't think they will make P5, because I think Alpine and Williams have made greater strides ahead of them. So in P15, I am putting Lance Stroll. And in P14, I'm going with Yuki Tsunoda, because I just believe Yuki Tsunoda is a better driver than Lance Stroll. So, given the performance of sometimes the VCAP is good, sometimes bad. That's the thing. You know, the problem meme. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe you complete that. I'll give that to you. So, in P14, Yuki Tsunoda. In P13, I am going with Esteban Ocon. Esti Bestie because, I mean, what else could he possibly do? The top positions are filled, and the Haas is it's a decent midfield car, but I don't think it's from what we saw during the preseason testing. I don't think it's a better car than the Williams or the Alpine. So that's the highest ST can go this season, and I hope he does better. But for now, Esteban Ocon P13, and in P12, I am going with Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso in P12 because he can pull off. If there's one person that can pull off great things in a car, as he has been doing over the past few years, it's Fernando Alonso. When the car was half decent, he was like on podiums consistently, P2, P3. I mean, the only reason he never won anything was because of Max Verstappen, to be honest, especially that Monaco 2023. That should have been Alonso's win number 33. But I mean, maybe Adrian Newey joining the team can maybe, because Newey will be focusing more on the 2026 car. So how they develop going into the season, maybe with the experience Adrian Newey has with Red Bull, maybe he just gives them some pointers to adjust some things in the 2025 car that will make them competitive again. But aside that, I don't see how they go beyond that. So yeah, in P12, Fernando Alonso. In P11, I'm going with Alexander Albon. Alex Albon because, well, as I told you, the Williams car looks really good. Hopefully, it translates from preseason testing into race pace, because in preseason tests we said the fastest time was set by a Williams. Now, don't get carried away. It's all preseason testing. Everybody is hiding their true strengths, because if we're talking about the fastest car based on lap times and race pace, it's the McLaren, but they didn't set the fastest time. But in general, things are looking good for Williams. So I am putting Alexander Albon in P11. And in P10, I am going with the rookie Kimi Antonelli. Now, he will be in a better car, that's for sure. But I am doing this, putting him low because he will be a rookie, and there's so much to find out when it comes to these rookies. There's no pressure on them, to be honest. From my side, at least, there's no pressure on them. Just go in, do what you can, do your best. And I know there will be a lot of mistakes coming from them. There'll be crash here, maybe messing up something here and there. So I think P10 is a place where he can finish and be all right with himself, to be honest. Because I think even if he finished P10, he would have finished higher than Max Verstappen in his rookie season, higher than Charles Leclerc in his rookie season. So honestly, it's a major win. The only problem is that he's driving a Mercedes, and the people I've put ahead of him, honestly, I don't see how he will beat them, except if the Mercedes car is really, really good. So P10, Kimi Antonelli. And in P9, I have gone with Carlos Sainz. Yeah, Carlos Sainz in P9. Now, I'm sure you're wondering who are the other people I'm putting ahead of Carlos Sainz at this point if they're not in maybe Red Bull or Ferrari or McLaren. I'll get to that. So, P9 Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz looks really comfortable in that Williams car. As I said, he set the fastest time in preseason testing. He's been looking good. He's been on it since the beginning of testing. So, let's see how the season goes for Williams, because I think this is the one chance Williams have to finish like at least P6 in the Constructors' Championship. Like this season, it's that year that I think, because the last time the Williams car was good was maybe 2014, the first year of the new regulations, where I think they were second in the Constructors' Championship or something like that behind Mercedes. So you can imagine how long it's been for Williams, and with the progress they've been showing so far. I mean, from 2023 up to 2024. 2024 they went down a bit, but 2025 it's looking good so far from precision testing. So Carlos Sainz in P9, and in P8 I have gone with Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly because, well, the Alpine ended the season on high. Last season they ended on high, and so far in preseason testing, honestly, the gap between them and Williams is very, very little. And honestly, I rate Pierre Gasly as a driver. I think he's a very good driver, and he's capable of consistently being in the points when the opportunity presents itself. And also, why I would put them ahead of Williams is because if you remember the race in Brazil last year, where both Alpines finished on the podium. I mean, Gasly was P3, Ocon was P2, but you can see how good the Alpine was going into the end of the season. They were consistently finishing P5, P6, P7. So coming into this season, in the hands of Gasly, I expect something like that as well. And in P7, Gasly P8, right? Yes, Russell P7. Russell P7 because honestly, I don't see the Mercedes beating either of the McLarens, either of the Ferraris, and either of the Red Bulls. Yes, I put Liam Lawson ahead of George Russell, and this has nothing to do with him. It's just basically it has to do with his car. And you could say, but they were setting good fast times in during preseason testing. Yes, the days which they set those outstanding times, it was the day that it was cold, the day that it rained. And if you know one thing about Mercedes from last season is that when it was cold, the Mercedes was on fire. They were always straight to it in qualifying, in race pace. Look at the race in Vegas. They were quick. Lewis went from P10 to P2, and it looked like he might even catch up with George Russell during the race. So, there's no way I'm going ahead of that. I'm not getting carried away by that performance. So, P7 George Russell, and in P6 I'm going with Liam Lawson. Liam, this is because of those ahead of him. This is the best he can do. Honestly, I think if he finishes ahead of George Russell, because something is telling me George might actually maybe outperform him sometimes, but given the way he has behaved on track from last season, always fighting with Perez, always fighting with Alonso, the guy doesn't give space. He's like that cutthroat driver that Red Bull needs in the second seat. And if he's half decent, a driver that he was compared to the driver he was last season, I think he's just gonna do us better than what he did last season. So Liam Lawson, P6 in the Constructors' Championship. And in P5, I am going to go with. Now, you see, this is where it gets dicey. Mind you, this year's Drivers' Championship is going to be very, very close. It's going to be tiny margins. If you have a DNF, you will regret it for sure. There's no guarantee of what it's going to be like, or even if your car is the best. One DNF and it's all over. Or maybe the safety car messes the race up. The safety car messes the race up for you. You're done. You're gonna have to be consistently finishing in the points and finishing the race, so that you can stand a chance of winning. So P5, I am going to go with Oscar Piastri. I know a lot of people will be wanting Oscar to be much higher, but yeah, I don't see him beating Lando and the other guys I've put in front of him. Honestly, when they are on it, they are on it. Like, they do not mess around, and I think Oscar is still growing into that position where he as a driver is like much more consistent, especially when it comes to qualifying. And sometimes his race pace is not there as well. So there's still a little bit of growth for Oscar, but I think from the beginning of the season, maybe he can have a good start. If the McLaren car is still bulletproof as it was last season, he should finish higher than that. But my prediction for now, Oscar Piastri, P5. And in P4, I am going with Sir Lewis Hamilton. Ferrari fans, Team LH, I'm sorry, P4. I don't see Lewis winning the championship in 2025. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. It's not happening. No. Even if the Ferrari car is very good, because I did predict them to win the Constructors' Championship, him and Leclerc are a very good combination to win the Constructors' Championship for Ferrari. But I don't see Lewis outperforming Leclerc. Be it in qualifying, for sure, Leclerc would outqualify Hamilton in qualifying. Like, the head-to-head, 100% is going to be in Charles Leclerc's favor, except if something happens to Leclerc during the season, which I don't think it will. I think Lewis being beside him makes it gives him more motivation to want to do better. So P4 for Lewis Hamilton for the Drivers' Championship. And in P3, I have gone with Charles Leclerc, who is his teammate. Oh my God. Now, please, remember this. The fact that I am making these predictions doesn't mean it will turn out this way, but the battle is so close. It might be that Lewis might even outperform Charles Leclerc, which I would not be surprised if that happens because Lewis is a capable driver, you know. So P3 Charles Leclerc, at least from preseason testing, what we're seeing is the Ferraris. Man, they're still finding performance here and there, but I think they were sandbagging. That's one. Sandbagging is when they are not showing their true speed. So I think they were sandbagging. I think they were trying to experimenting here and there, just like Red Bull, because we don't know what the Red Bull is capable of as well, you know. But in my prediction videos, I did put Red Bull P2 in the constructors. But I mean, I think let's see how that will play out. I don't want to jinx myself. So in P2 for the Drivers' Championship, I will be going with. I'm going with Lando Norris. Lando Norris P2 in the constructors in the Drivers' Championship. If anything, you should take from this video is that I am making my predictions video consistent to my the drivers championship table. I am making it in a way consistent with my constructors championship predictions. So you should check out that video if you've not seen it. I'll link it at the end of this video so you can check that out. P2 Lando Norris. Lando, they have the fastest car for sure, but the thing is, the concerns that we had from last season as fans concerning how consistent he was and how he always lost the lead going into turn one. He was on pole, I think, 7 or 8 times. I think 8 times because he had the same number of pole as Max Verstappen last season. Although, out of 8 times, 7 out of 8 times, he lost the lead before the end of lap 1, which is not a good statistic. And if he doesn't work on that this season, if he's not as brave, he has to be as brave as Max Verstappen if he wants to beat Max Verstappen. And I guess at this point, it's all about Lando being more aggressive, more elbows out. But let's wait and see if he can do that. But for now, with the presence of Max Verstappen in Formula One, I don't see anybody beating him. So that's it. P2 Lando Norris, and in P1 I have gone for Max Verstappen, going for 5 in a row. 5 in a row. If he can do it, it will mean only Max Verstappen and Michael Schumacher have won 5 drivers' championship in a row. Will he do it? Is it possible? It will be very difficult because the Red Bull, so far, we don't know what it's going to look like. But everybody knows, count out Max Verstappen at your own peril. And because of how close the grid is this year, so many things can happen. I wouldn't be surprised if at a certain point in the season, someone like George Russell is topping the Drivers' Championship, or maybe Oscar is topping the Drivers' Championship, and all of that. So yeah, that's my prediction. I'll go over it again from the beginning to the end. P1 Max Verstappen, P2 Lando, P3 Charles Leclerc, P4 Lewis Hamilton, P5 Oscar Piastri, and P6 Liam Lawson, P7 George Russell, P8 Pierre Gasly, P9 Carlos Sainz, P10 Kimi Antonelli, P11 Alexander Albon, 12 Fernando Alonso, 13 Esteban Ocon, and 14 Yuki Tsunoda, 15 Lance Stroll, 16 Oliver Bierman, 17 Jack Doohan, 18 Isaac Hadjar, and 19 Nico Hülkenberg. Finally, Gabriel Bortoleto, P20. So those are my predictions. Well, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also, my predictions for the Australian Grand Prix will be coming out, I think Monday, should be Monday next week. And also, I'll also do a video for Drive to Survive, a review of Drive to Survive. So that is also coming out. By the time I'm releasing this video, will be 6th of March. So probably that's when you'll see this. And I mean, tomorrow, Drive to Survive will be released. And I'll make a review about that as well. So yeah, keep watching this space. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.